Holy fucking shirt balls. This show is just blowing me away. Lift us where suffering cannot reach. Episode 6, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. An episode which I honestly thought was just going to be, oh, this kid's going to get kidnapped, there's going to be some political intrigue. Boy, was I wrong. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're going straight into spoilers, so do not watch this if you haven't watched the episode. We are going straight into spoilers. This episode was surprisingly good. Like, I know a lot of people got a preview of the first 5 episodes and they were like, oh, this is okay, this is good. Honestly, this show keeps getting better. It's going to be my favourite Star Trek show. It had a little bit of darkness, well, a lot of darkness. Had every episode they do seems to be a twist on the old episodes. So you'll take episodes where colonists turned out to be ghosts, but there's a twist on it. Each one is really in-depth in the character. We have Pike, who had a crush on this woman as a very young lieutenant. And we have this amazing setup for what you think is political intrigue, and someone's kidnapping someone and you don't really understand. Like, you're just going, oh, this is standard. For the first 20 minutes, I was just like, oh, okay, this is nice. Oh, da, 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 da. And we had Uhura being trained by La'an in security, and La'an being a hard ass. You had M'Benga talking about his daughter, and then you're introduced to the first child, and they tried to kidnap him, but he's there, and you're trying to work out who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, and then you sort of find out, like, oh, this civilization they've met is futuristic and amazing. The scenes on the planet for this were amazingly beautiful and amazingly realised in the CGI. The aliens with your standard wrinkly foreheads, well, wrinkly temples. The Enterprise looked amazing. Like, the whole episode looked amazing. Pike, like, being a bit giddy when he's talking to his old flame, and sort of Una noticing it, and you're like, oh, this is going to be one of those rekindling old flame things, just like Kirk always had, and you can sort of see where these things are going to be. You hear about another planet which is a colony, and they're trying to kidnap this kid, and you're sort of going, oh, this is pretty standard Star Trek. I'm pretty sure, like, all of the TNG era had at least one episode where there was some royalty or someone special being kidnapped. It was just the way it was. And then all of a sudden we're thrown into, okay, this guy is a bit rude and a bit unwelcome, but he's trying to help him. He's his son, but he's a bit disconnected. I was sitting there going, well, he has to be bad guy. And then I got the feeling that Pike's old flame was, in the end, the bad guy. And you just sort of, you don't realise by the end of it, when you get to the end, that, oh my God, this has taken it to a darker. We don't really interact with species who are this viscerally sort of repellent. Like, this is a futuristic society, more advanced than Starfleet, which is very rare in the show as it is. Usually they're just as advanced. Very rarely are they more advanced. And we get a sense that, oh, this is amazing, it's a utopia. And then we learn a little bit more, and there's a few untruths. And if you notice his flame's eyes, you can see that she's sort of holding things back from him. And it's a really interesting note that they're playing, where you're sort of questioning a couple of the characters. And the kid, the first servant, that kid's acting was brilliant. He was charming. He was just like a kid, jolly, happy. And I'm sitting there and I'm going, he's as good as Leia in Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, he just nails his character, and he's putting in so much effort. And the guy who plays his father, that comes off rude, comes off caring. M'Benga, he's nailed this episode as the actor and the character. Like, you really get a sense of feeling. You sort of think maybe he's going to push the boundaries. He might try and steal the technology in order to save his daughter, but he never pushes it that far. And it's the same with this woman who's trying to find the to sort of get them to save this kid, and you're sort of going, oh, she's very obsessed with saving this kid and she's blaming these other people. Then we find out that the colony that they've mentioned is actually an offshoot of them, and then we sort of rolls into it, and then everything sort of ends happy, and you're sort of, the kid's there, he's going through his ceremony, he's all happy, and then sort of Pike brings up the little lies she said throughout the episode, and then all of a sudden he gets taken down to the Ascension, and you find out, and then you see the last kid who went for it, and that, like, I've seen gore in Star Trek, but that was pretty horrific. That's a child on a plate with his, like, it kind of reminds me of the last season, the last episode of series 3 of Doctor Who. We find out that the humans are actually the bad guys and they're just floating head balls. It was really sort of grotesque, and you find the kid there and you go, oh, okay, he's going to save this kid. He's going to stop this kid from being there. He's connected to the planet, allowing for the planet to stay as amazing and utopian as it is. They don't quite explain why, but they have to use the energies from this kid to keep the planet going. And then sort of we cut to Pike gets knocked out. Pike wakes up and he basically gets told, you can't disconnect him, he will die. We have always sacrificed children, this is what we live on. And in Anson Mount's face, you just see repulsion at what they're doing to these children. And it's disgusting, because you're sitting there and you go, oh my God, he's got to save this kid, he's got to save this kid. And that's not how the episode ends. You have this La'an Uhura situation going on where she's trying to press La'an, and by the end of the episode, she nails the facts, and she's sort of in each of these jobs proving she's a really good linguist, and obviously she's going to be Uhura. And she sort of comes down with, she finds out the truth at the end of the episode, and Pike doesn't want to believe it at first. There's a real emotional dynamic where he's a little bit like, no, she wouldn't do that. And it's amazing how these stories play off together, and finding out that this kid's basically dead. Pike at the end drinking his whiskey or his scotch, and he's just looking out the window because he can't do anything. This isn't a Federation world that isn't going to change anything. And he even tries to fall back to go, oh, I'll tell Starfleet everything. And she goes, we're not a part of the Federation or Starfleet. You can't do anything to us. And he's sort of, his hands are tied between duty and what he wants to do. And it's amazingly, like, you can see in his face, he realizes he's got no power. And he sort of questions her, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And she explains to him, and he just wants to get out of there. And he just goes, beam me up. And he's gone. Like, no matter if she's an old flame, no matter if he had feelings for her, he is gone out of that situation. And you're just left on this sense of, no, he couldn't. If this isn't a Federation world, he couldn't help them. And what we have is, once again, one of the best episodes of Star Trek written. We dealt with emotional drama, character drama that fed neatly into the storyline, which all interwoven together. So each plot made sense to the over story. And each character played, like, I wish we got more Una. That's the only thing I'm having. I love Rebecca Romaine. But otherwise, every character in this episode and in this series is playing really, really well. The episodes are getting better and better. And to be honest, Star Trek Strange New Worlds is more exciting to me than watching Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, more exciting to me than watching Halo. I've not been this excited about Star Trek since I was a kid. And what we have is a really good crew that work well together. And Banger's great. Anson Mount as Pike is great. Ethan Peck's great. Like, all of the actors in this show are great. So I'm looking forward to episode 7. It's sad that we've only got like 3 episodes left, which is, well, 4 episodes, including episode 7. But this is some good watching, I'd have to say. I certainly like the play on the fact that the Federation isn't all powerful. She does mention, and this is the only bit that I found a bit odd, she goes, doesn't your planet, she goes, you can't tell me your planet doesn't lean on the poor and the disadvantaged. And I'm going, well, Pike should be turning around here and going, well, no, it doesn't lean on the poor and disadvantaged. No one is. That's the Federation. He doesn't say that. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But to be fair, she may have meant in a historical context as well, which, to be fair, that is what we're doing right now. Pretty sure this uniform was made in China. Pretty sure this was made in China. Pretty sure these were made in China. This, $15, certainly made in China. Uh, so, what did you think about the episode? Make sure to write down in the comments, like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week for Strange New Worlds. I will be reviewing Prodigy. I swear I'll be reviewing Prodigy next week on Tuesday, and we'll have our random topic episode on Sunday. And thank you very much. This is TrekTrav, and I'll see you next time.